In a day and age when young leaders are emerging and charting the way forward, some expecting overnight success, while others understand the importance of hard work and dedication. Today, General Manager of Caribbean Cellars Limited, Kevin Fahie, talks climbing the ladder, community service, and what it takes to survive in one of the Caribbean's most competitive markets. Branding, inspiration, and a love for people. Introducing the BVI's youngest local food and beverage manager, Mr. Kevin Fahie. Stay tuned, you're watching 284 News.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Mr. Fahie, welcome to 284 News.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, for the past 3 years, you've held the post as General Manager of Caribbean Cellars and charting the way forward. Tell me about the process in getting there. Obviously, it was not an overnight thing. You climbed the ladder. Tell me about your process.
Yes, it's been a long 5 years in a sense.
Okay.
When I first got into the beverage industry, it started at Rota Wholesale, where I came in as a brand manager. And just being a brand manager, you work hands-on with certain brands.
Okay.
And the more I work hands-on with certain brands and with suppliers and stuff like that, my love for the business grew. And the more that grew, the more I wanted to know about the business, the more I wanted to grow in the business. So I started doing a lot more work, a lot of late nights, which helped me got promoted to being the beverage manager for Rota Wholesale. While being the beverage manager at Rota Wholesale, I interacted a few times with the general manager at the time for Caribbean Cellars. Okay. And he felt like, I was the future for Caribbean Cellars, even though he was the general manager at the time. And he was like, you should come over here. You should come work for us because I really see you as the future for this company. And at the time, I didn't really buy into much of what he was saying and stuff like that. But the more I started growing in the business, the more I realized that, I wanted to be the head. I enjoyed what I was doing at Rota Wholesale, but I wanted to be the guy in charge. I wanted to continue growing and stuff like that. And I couldn't really see that high growth at Rota Wholesale, and I saw a massive opportunity at Caribbean Cellars. So I took the jump, took less, but I trusted myself. I trusted the skills, I trusted my talents and what I could do. So I went over there as a sales manager, and throughout the 3 years there, I worked from the sales manager to marketing manager to the commercial manager to eventually becoming the general manager. And even being a general manager, could have got that 2 years earlier.
Okay.
But I knew one side of the business, which was the sales aspect of the business. But I never quite understood the commercial part, the ordering and stuff like that. So it was one of those things where, do you really go after and trying to get this job and being a general manager
Very strategic move,
and not knowing all of that, or do you take at least at that time, it took 2 years with my boss and Robert Knack, who's gone, and they mentored me in terms of 2 years in the commercial aspect of the business. So by the time I became the general manager, I knew both sides of the business.
Okay.
So
you talked just now about basically trusting the process.
Yes.
And putting in the work. Give the young people some encouragement, because you have a lot of young persons out there who might be aspiring to be leaders in different assets. And you talked about wanting to be the head, but getting to the head took a process. So what encouragement would you give to them?
At the end of the day, if it's something that you truly love and truly believe in, don't worry about the day-to-day struggles that you're having right now. It wasn't an easy process, but I knew what my end goal was. I knew what I wanted, and I was passionate about what I wanted. I think anyone that's young and they're into something, do something that you love. Because when you do something that you love, you're going to always keep driving. You're going to always want to be the best at what you do, whether it's sports, whether it's journalism, whether it's being in the beverage world, branding or marketing. So what I would say is, if you really love that, keep grinding. It's not going to be easy, but I can guarantee you the end result
Definitely.
will always be what you expect it to be once you put in the time and once you put the work.
Wonderful. Tell me what is in your mind. What would be a perfect day for the general manager? And then let's compare it to what a typical day is actually like.
A perfect day is getting to my office, taking my first shot in the morning, have some fine whiskey or cognac,
Okay.
and just having everything run smoothly, not having to be disturbed. Probably sneaking a little Netflix here and there.
Okay.
That would be a perfect day.
Okay.
But a typical day is meetings after meetings after
Wow.
meetings. And I mean, it comes with the territory because, I mean, it's a small community, but there's a lot that goes on in this small community. And, you know, the meetings, they switch in different levels in terms of, it could be sponsorship, could be, for example, brand ambassadors, could be an event. So it varies on terms, but it's very, when I tell you jam-packed, it's very jam-packed.
Is any day ever the same?
No.
Okay.
Never the same. And that's why I love this world.
Nice.
I love the beverage world because like not every day it's a different challenge. It's a different experience, but it's fun.
Absolutely.
And it's ever evolving. And that's why I love the beverage world. I mean, it's good, but it's bad because I could wake up today and find out that one of my brands got sold to a different company, and it's like crap. or it could be one of my brands by a next brand. I'm like, yes.
Okay.
So
now we just talked about no day is exactly the same. You lead a 25 strong team of young persons from all walks of life. It represents inclusion and diversity. Tell me about your role as general manager in working with them, because I'll tell you this, I did my research and some of the words that came up, to be honest, were he's hands-on, very respectful, and does not micromanage. When you hear those words from members of your team, I think they're absolutely amazing. How does that make you feel, hearing that from the people who you work closely with every day?
It makes me feel good because, you know, everyone that works for Caribbean Cellars, I consider them family. I don't consider myself as having staff. You know, I have family because these are the people that I spend most of my time with. And I mean, we fight, we bicker, but at the end of the day, we have each other's back, and we all have one common goal, and it's to drive and push each other and make sure that Caribbean Cellars stay on top. So it's really good to hear that because it's not easy managing different personalities and stuff like that. But I mean, as a manager, you have to take time out to really learn the different personalities and how to approach different individuals and stuff like that. And I think a lot of managers don't take the time to learn their staff.
Right.
So in a sense, they approach a lot of situations the same way, and you really can't do that. So I think once you take time out to learn your staff individually, and like you say, it's 25 or 27 now, it makes things different because then it shows that you care because you learn who they are, you understand how they operate, and in turn, they give you back that same respect. In terms of the micromanaging thing, we hire people, I hire people in a sense that I give you a job. The reason I hired you is because I believe that you can do that job, and I give them the space to do their jobs. And it's like one of those things that my boss always says, because I'll call him and say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. You coming over, you come to the BVI? He's like, if you're not seeing me, that's good. And I always remember saying that my old mentor always say, you give a dog enough rope to hang himself. So sometimes you just have to give them that rope and let them go and see what they do.
But you
sometimes
also trust them because you hired them. So you know
of course.
They could do the job.
You trust them that they can do the job because, I mean, at the end of it, like I said, you hire them because you have that strong faith in them. And you'll have some hiccups,
of course,
here and there. But for the most part, I mean, like I said, we're a family. So if someone has a problem, they'll call and say, look, boss, I really don't understand this. Can you help me with this? Or if I'm having an issue, I go to individual and say, hey, I'm seeing this. Just keep an eye on it. I'll tell you what to do. Just keep an eye on this certain situation. And it's a mutual respect between myself and the managers, myself and the employees.
Now, you guys at Caribbean Cellars take branding very seriously. I mean, you don't play when it comes to your branding,
Yeah.
but you also have the persons who have a misconception. They might see yourself or some of your other managers out and they'd be like, all I'm to do is drink. Okay? I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yes, of
But
course,
when it
all the
comes to
times.
branding and the company, tell me the role that that plays in your organization.
We take branding very, very seriously because branding is who you are. Branding is your company and everything. And with us being a young staff, you know, at the end of the day, we want to get out there and we want to show people like, hey, this is Caribbean Cellars. We're young, we're fun. But at the end of the day, numbers is everything. We get the job done. You know, we do a lot of stuff with billboards and events and stuff like that. And people are like, how are you guys able to do all of this? It's because we're getting the returns. And if you're not getting the returns, I mean, I don't think I'll be in this post. But we're getting the returns because people respect what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And they feed in to the type of branding we do. More so with the brand ambassadors and stuff like that. You know, people always ask me, what's the criteria for a brand ambassador? I don't have a criteria for a brand ambassador. What I do is I'm always in the market. I will watch someone, I see what they're drinking, and I watch to see the influence that they have. If they're drinking one of our products and they're influencing others to drink our product, then, you know, that's a perfect candidate for me.
Okay.
So I go to that person and I say, hey, let's have a conversation. Because at the end of the day, they're supporting my company. They're supporting my brands. So how can I now enhance what this person is doing to bring more sales and to help that person at the same time in their craft that they're doing? So then it turns into a win-win situation for both of us.
Yes.
So it's not really like, oh, bring your resume and I'll see. Nah. It has to be a love for what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, like I told someone, I might see someone drinking a competitor product and go and say, hey, I want you to be a brand ambassador. No, because at the end of the day, that person's going to drink what they love. I'm going to do what I love. So once they're doing something that interact with both companies, I am going to do my best to help them with their craft. And obviously, they're going to return that favor by helping us promote Caribbean Cellars to a higher level.
Let's talk about 2017. Orma and Maria. Tell me about the process in recovery, not only for yourself as an individual, but really revamping the company and being able to come back, and not just come back, but come back so quickly and just about stronger than ever, I would say.
Yeah, that was tough. And the reason I would say that was tough because I had took over being general manager in December 2016. And then Orma came the following September. And the reason I would say that was tough is because that was my first year, not even a full year, managing the company and staff and stuff like that, and to be hit with something so massive. You know, I didn't, after the storm, the first thing that I was thinking about was one, is my staff okay? And two, I need to go check on the company. When I got there and I saw the state that Caribbean Cellars was in, my heart dropped. Because Tico was fine. I mean, they had minor damages, Rotom wholesale for the most part was fine. And, you know, I just looked at it, I called my boss, I said, look, what are we gonna do? We have to start thinking because we have staff that need food, need places to stay and stuff like that, you know? And I called my owner, we talked to my boss, we called our owner and, you know, I asked him, I said, so what's the plan? And his response to me was, we're gonna build back. He said, and I asked him, so you sure this is what you want to do? He said, you know, the people at the BVI have done so much for him and Caribbean Cellars for many years that it will be ungrateful for him to pull his company out when we needed him the most, especially the staff. So his main focus was one, getting as much containers and stuff here with food and other stuff to make sure our staff is good. We help certain staff with different things with their homes and stuff like that. And we put all our resources, because we have companies in USVI, California, Hawaii. They put all their resources into
a huge team effort.
Getting Caribbean Cellars back up and going. We didn't lay anyone off. We paid everyone all their salaries, even when we were not even operational, even for a full year. I remember going into last year budget meeting and we're budgeting to take a massive loss. And I'm sitting there in this meeting like, wow. Like, it's not often you hear a company go into a year not cutting staff, not cutting payroll, because payroll is the easiest thing to cut, and say, no, we're committed to these people. We're gonna get the company back up and going. And I mean, I gain a lot of respect from my owners and my boss in that time, because they could have turned their back on the staff and they didn't. And for me, it made my staff, made me have a lot more respect and love for what Caribbean Cellars represent and what we're here to do.
Thank you so much for your honesty and sharing that. Amidst of your already busy schedule, you are a Rotarian. I see you wearing your pin proudly.
Yes.
You're also the Deputy Chairman of the BVI Ports Authority. Tell me the role that service has played in your life. Because one would think, I'm general manager, I have a lot going on. Let's put that stuff to the side. But you, on the other hand, seem to continuously take on more responsibilities.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
My love is for the BVI and for the community of the BVI. And any way that I can help and any way that I can be a part of that, I try my hardest to be a part of that. There's 24 hours in a day. I'm sure I can find a few hours here and there to get something done for the community. And that's why I joined Rotary, because I wanted to be more involved with the community and different aspects and events and stuff that they do. Because just standing on the outside and seeing what they do, I was like, man, I love what they're doing and I want to be a part of that. So I try to do as much as I can in capacity at Caribbean Cellars, in the capacity of Rotary, to do as much as I can for the BVI, because the BVI is my home. It's my daughter's home. And at the end of the day, we're not all going to be here forever. So I'm going to do my part to make sure the BVI stay where it's at. I give the help that I need to give to the community, because at the end of the day, I want to leave a good community for my daughter to grow up in.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing at Caribbean Cellars, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you some fun questions. A lot of my persons in the community have seen some of these questions, but I'm going to switch it up on you just because I'm fearful that you might have seen some of the previous interviews. Okay, so you're going to give me the first response that comes to your mind. Who or what never fails to make you laugh?
My staff.
Your staff, okay. Something on your bucket list you'd like to take off?
Sadly, believe it or not, a cruise. I've never been on a cruise.
Really? Okay. All right, that should be easy.
It should be easy.
What food can you eat every day?
Seafood.
Seafood?
Yeah.
Okay. Something you wish you were better at?
Wow, that's a good one.
For me, it's building things.
For me, it'll be probably more in what I can be better at. Spending a little more time managing my time a little more better.
Okay, better at time management.
Better
That's
at
a good
time
one.
management.
Your biggest pet peeve?
Dirty glasses.
Dirty glasses. You go to a bar or even at your location and you see a glass with a smudge, and that just drives you crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Childhood celebrity crush or an adult celebrity crush?
Childhood celebrity, believe it or not, Michelle from Full House.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I even had a bigger crush when I found out she was really a twin.
Very different.
So I knew I had a chance, at least one.
Do you have a secret talent?
Just thinking on my feet.
Just thinking on your feet?
Yeah.
And that shows because you've done very well with these questions. And last but not least, guilty pleasure.
I'm a gamer.
You're a gamer?
Yeah.
Big on video games?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Mr. Fahie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Get online today with CCT Go Fast LTE. Simply select from any one of our Go Fast LTE plan options. Each plan offers unlimited wireless residential internet and are priced to suit your budget and required data speed. Stop by any one of our locations and speak with one of our representatives. And get online with Go Fast LTE, the BVI's preferred choice for reliability, speed, and affordability. CCT Life Unlimited.